Assalamu alaikum, hello, and welcome to the News and Culture Show with me, Laura Conda, and my co-host, Paul Cooper.
Welcome back.
A little bit about the News and Culture Show. We talk about all the latest news from around Luton, as well as arts, culture, and events, so you can go out and have some fun in this amazing town. We do have a guest today as well. Very exciting event that's coming this weekend that you definitely want to tune in for to hear about how you can go to that. But yeah, until then, Paul, how are you?
Yeah, well, not too bad. Just a bit tired. I had a long trip yesterday. After work yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say, explain this story.
Yeah, I drove all the way in one trip to Manchester.
And back.
Picked up a car park for my son, and then literally with no rest, and drove all the way home. Got back home at 8:20 last night.
I'd love to say this is the first time that Paul has done this, but it's not. I remember when you went to get the door. Do you remember the car door, and you drove to Devon or something for the car door that matched the car?
Yeah.
Paul does like a big old trip. If it's something that he needs, he will go far for it. Yeah. Oh dear, but yeah, I think we're all suffering from that winter virus of death.
Car parks are very expensive. If you were to buy it new, you'd be looking at perhaps £400. So the particular, so my son damaged his wheel in a pothole. To be fair, it wasn't in Luton; it was in Stevenage.
I was going to say, so if it's in Central Bedfordshire, that makes sense because they're.
You know, it bent the rim, and of course, with these alloy rims, you can't hammer them back.
No,
you'll crack the wheel. So nobody. And unfortunately, this particular design on his Peugeot, there's very few of them were available on eBay.
Yeah.
And so the best one that was in really good condition, it was in Manchester. I got to say, to be fair, I honestly didn't realize. I didn't realize it was going to take that long.
Oh yeah, it takes a long time. I don't think people realise how, because I drive to Liverpool quite regularly, and it takes a good 3.5 hours. And Manchester's closer than that. But yeah, I've done it in
No, you go past the Liverpool town.
No, yeah, but Liverpool is further away than Manchester from here.
No, it's not.
Manchester's more inland. Liverpool's like another extra 30 miles away from Manchester.
The route it took me, so I'm driving up, and literally I had a choice of.
Are we talking Greater Manchester or Manchester City?
No, it was on the edge of Manchester.
Okay.
So it was actually on the Liverpool side of Manchester.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was on that side.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah, so I didn't even get to stop and get some chicken and chips or anything like that. We were just literally.
Why did you not stop? I would have got chicken and chips. I was delayed being home 30 minutes late.
Well, to be fair, my son got on the phone and his mum said, "Oh, I've cooked for you." So and mashallah, it really was worth the wait. It was really,
mashallah,
really nice. So,
shout out Paul's wife.
Yeah,
alhamdulillah, she's a legend. Unfortunately, she won't hear this, but your daughter does watch, I believe. So if you could pass that message on to your mum, legend. Anyway, let's start with some very. I think it's depressing news, isn't it?
Let's just come out with it, guys. Your council tax is going up about 5%.
At least 5%, because
there's no way to sugarcoat it.
So council taxpayers in Luton face an almost 5% increase for 2026 to 2027, despite the extra financial support from the government, confirmed in its fairer funding settlement. So basically, we do get more money from central government, which in theory should keep our council tax the same. However, the Labour-run Luton Authority hopes to redirect commercial income from the airport company Luton Rising towards strategic investment, delivering tangible benefits to residents.
But not a decrease in your council tax.
They're not decreasing your council tax. Do you know what? No. Do you know what the most frustrating thing about all of this is?
I've got to say, actually, I actually can't believe we're actually at this point. I mean, I remember at one point I was paying like £212 because I've been in the same house for
years,
nearly 22 years. So in April, I've been in the same house for 22 years.
Yeah.
So how is it I can remember paying like £200? I can literally remember it was under £200, and here I am now. This year I'm paying £330.
I
Now
mean,
it's going to go up.
I can't even tell you what mine is. I've owed money because of a huge mess up at the council where last year they forgot to send me a bill at all when I moved in.
This got my council tax up to about £350.
Yeah, I think mine will probably go up. I don't know. I'm only in band A, but it's still a lot. I pay £155 a month to pay back.
And I remember a time when we used to get weekly bin collections.
I remember a time where I paid £98 in council tax. They were the good old days. But anyway, essentially, the thing that frustrates me the most is that council tax is going up, but Luton is sitting here saying, Luton Borough Council will sit here saying, Luton 2040, we want a fairer, sustainable, better place to live town where no one lives in poverty, but then puts the council tax up when they've already acknowledged that stagnant real wages. So it says for Luton, these macroeconomics headwinds translate to, oh my God, they use so many big words to make it, but essentially they say residents face rising household bills and stagnant real wages, while local businesses contend with higher operating costs and fragile consumer confidence. These factors constrain the council's financial flexibility, making prudent financial management, rigorous monitoring and proactive mitigation essential to maintain a balanced budget and long-term sustainability. It's frustrating because we're sitting here. I get the Luton Borough Council. In Luton, we do get more than other places. Other places like Central Bedfordshire, you think
on that government budget.
Not just on the government budget, but in general, like services wise, I think we do get some more services than others. We're about to get food bins again. That's coming out in February. The little food bins. Yeah. Do you remember we used to have them and then they kind of got rid of them? We had them for a bit. They got rid of them.
Actually, I was that close to getting rid of those, but I didn't because if we have any packages, that can't be delivered,
they put them in the little bin.
Yeah, the fella just pops them in there, and they stay nice and dry. Actually,
they do stay dry in those bins.
That's not going to work anymore, then.
Yeah, it's not. Well, no, you're getting your new one. They're sending you a brand new one. They'll be delivering them from February.
Oh.
I read today on Instagram.
Are they going to be blue again? Then?
They are going to be blue again. My one was grey, not grey, brown when I had a food bin in Luton.
Was it?
We're talking like 7 or 8 years ago. When I lived elsewhere in Luton, I had a brown bin, and I have a little mini brown bin that you keep in the house.
Maybe what do you think? Maybe I should keep the old one and write on it post
bin,
and then the new one I'll just write on it food.
But yeah, I mean, like compared to other councils, we still offer send transport, which is vital. Some councils are cutting that. You know, we look at reform run councils. They're looking at cutting send transport for pupils. They're looking at cutting school transport for pupils in general. You know, we do get some good stuff here, but at the same time, we know that Luton has had a rise in unemployment. We've lost Vauxhall, which was a massive manufacturer that employed a lot of people in Luton. So now those people, and not just forgetting the people from Vauxhall, it's factories that supply to them as well nearby that will have shut down also. You know, so we've lost a lot of jobs. People are at their worst financially in years. Obviously, this 5% is just for the council. So the way a council tax bill works is you pay a portion to the council, portion to Bedfordshire Police.
Well, the other thing as well that this doesn't factor in, a lot of us don't get regular pay rises either.
No.
You know, this is the thing that has happened as time has gone on. You know, you might be with an employer, and the amount that you're receiving, you know, year on year, just stays the same.
Yeah, and everything else is going up as well. Yeah. Another thing is that Bedfordshire Police and Fire and Rescue Service haven't, I don't believe, announced how much they will increase by, which will be another increase as well on top of this.
Here's one for you, folks. How is it now see, we were given all of this reason. If we go back like 4 years ago, when there was the Russian invasion of Ukraine, this was the reason why our fuel bills went up. Okay, but how is it now? Petrol prices, which we know went through the roof when the war started 4 years ago, they're now exactly back where they were before the war began. But has there been any change on our gas and electricity prices?
No.
Now, I'm going to put this question out there. What is our government doing about it?
Oh, they'll say to you, well, Ofgem, the regulator, have capped it. And it's like, well, they haven't capped it much. Nothing's changed.
My point is, fossil fuel prices are fossil fuel prices. So if the prices for our petrol is now exactly where it was 4 years ago, just before the war started, because it is, why is it that our fuel prices haven't come down yet? A lot of you may not know this, folks. The UK, we literally do have the most expensive gas and electricity prices in the entire world.
And ironically, we had a lot of gas as well. I think we still do, but we probably sell it off, knowing us.
I think only what comes out of our politicians.
Oh dear. You can catch Paul on Friday Night Live with these top banter subjects.
If you can take being bored listening to me on a Friday as well, then you're welcome to tune in.
You're welcome to tune in on a Friday too. So yeah, moving on to a slightly more positive story. Luton Homeless Charity is looking for volunteers to make a difference. I think we all kind of know of Noah. They have been working in the town for decades now, helping with homelessness. They have a facility on Park Street, a welfare facility. It's a vital hub for homeless people in the town. They serve warm meals there, offer warm clothing, medical service and advice as well. And they're needing more people to get involved and help out with their Park Street Welfare Centre. They also need people to volunteer, or if people are not feeling like they could volunteer at the welfare hub, they're looking for people to volunteer in their charity shops that are based in Hightown and Lewisham Farm as well. They're all volunteer run. But yeah, they had a really great interview in this article with the volunteers manager, Nicole Swan. She explained that they can't Swan, innit? Okay. Swain. Said that we really need more volunteers at our night shelter because it's a 12-hour night and we need to be able to give the services to people.
So how many people are they able to look after?
Up to 50 people a night.
So where is it? Where is this place located?
It's on Park Street. So it's past, once you've gone past, like, it's not the Park Street end where the university is. It's further down, a lot further down. You know where Vauxhall used to be? Yeah. The head office. Yeah. It's there. It's like next to it. It's not really obvious.
So is it near that new children's school?
Yes, it is near there. Oh. It's near that end of Park Street. So it's near the, you know, on the corner they've got the primary school, the new primary school. Well, it's not so new yet. It's been there for about 10 years.
Yes.
Linden Academy. It's just near there.
Okay.
Yeah. So they do community outreach as well. So they will start around 5 a.m. She says, going out looking for people, making sure that they get help, doing things like offering them a breakfast, a hot drink, making sure they're okay, because not obviously 50 places is fantastic. I'm not disputing that, but it's also not a lot. We have a lot of homeless people in Luton. We know this. You know, that she said even just coming for an hour a week to do something to help for the charity. Obviously, I saw this story and I thought it was perfect. With Ramadan coming up, we need to start thinking about, you know, how we can give back. If you have some time and you want to get involved, I definitely think it's worth giving Noah a call. They don't say how you can get into contact, but I'm sure if you go onto the Noah website, they'll be able to direct you on how you can volunteer there. I just think it's a really vital service and it's a great way. I mean, there's lots of people going out at night feeding the homeless people. You've got the Gurdwara on Dallow Road that does. They do regular soup kitchens, don't they? On I want to say a Friday night.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but they go into town centre and offer food. So, you know, if you want
That's
to,
interesting. Maybe we could talk to them because they're quite near us.
they are very near us. Perhaps we can get you on to talk about it. I think it's really important that we share and help these communities. And obviously, if you can't fast as well, we know how important it is to feed people as part of your giving back if you are not able to fast for medical reasons or whatever reasons you can. So this is another way you can potentially give back. And it sounds like a really good opportunity. You don't have to go and help in the night shelter. If you feel more confident working in a shop, volunteering there, helping raising money for the charity, because all that money does eventually go into supporting the homeless people out in Luton. I think it's a fantastic cause. Love Noah. Yeah. Right.
So maybe we could
We'll-
we can get Nicole on.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. I will reach out to her, but it was I just saw it this morning. I thought that's a great story. I thought we need something more lighthearted, and I thought as Ramadan is coming up, just right round the corner.
I can't remember how long it was, but it was before COVID. I remember I was hosting a Friday night live show then, and I was speaking to someone that was doing an initiative for the homeless then. It's such a long time ago, I can't remember who it was. And of course, it's one of those problems. Unfortunately, it doesn't go away, and it's one of those things that is always ongoing and needs continuous sort of highlighting. Because the thing is, if we don't highlight it,
No,
people aren't aware of it.
and not everyone reads the news and things like that. So hopefully we can catch people that we might not normally see this article.
Well, you can't support something if you don't know about it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's lots of charities in Luton. I do recommend reaching out to them and seeing what you can give this time, especially with Ramadan coming up. It's a really important part of our 5 pillars, isn't it, really, to give back to charity. And whether the way you don't always have to be financial, it can physically be doing something as well and getting out there and helping. But yeah, alhamdulillah.
And there's just a point here, Nicole went to in this article. She said we don't just help the homeless people, we help the people on the verge of becoming homeless as well. We want to prevent homelessness, and we don't want people to be homeless in the first place. And there's a lot of wisdom in that, isn't it?
There is.
You know, because homelessness is going to happen for a number of reasons, and if you have a charity that is forward looking like Noah, and they can identify the problems and help solve them before those problems will cause someone losing their home, then that's something that needs to be applauded and spoken of positively. So yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
And there's another 24 hours.
There's another 24 hours in police custody. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. This one is, if you are a fan of 24 hours in police custody, I hate saying fan because it's not really that type of show. You should be a fan per se. But if
I've got to say, actually, when you say fan, I've actually been in awe. Seriously, I genuinely have to say that I've genuinely been in awe of how good the police service have been in these videos that we've. Because each of the ones you've said,
yeah,
my bosses have actually, because my boss is listening on both the news shows.
Oh, okay.
And they picked up on this and they've shown them to the
kids,
the children we work with. I work in an alternative provision, so that covers students that have been that have lost their place in school for all sorts of reasons, behaviour and so forth. And I was absolutely gobsmacked by how solidly professional police our local service have been on these episodes.
They have been fantastic. I know there was a lot when this first came out, because it's been 10 years nearly now that they've been on screens. When this first came out, there was a lot of concern around it, but they've really worked to show Bedfordshire Police probably in the best light that it could have been shown. This case this week is an incredibly sensitive one, so I do recommend, if you have been affected by any of the things mentioned in this, that you do look at the support that's out there. There are helplines for people that are victims of historical sexual abuse, sexual assault, and things like that. So please do look at reaching out to those helplines if you do need that support. So this case has previously been covered on 24 Hours in Police Custody. It was the House of Horrors. It was a 2-part episode, I believe, in 2022, because this was like one of the first ever cases that I went to court and covered as a very new journalist. Carson Grimes, it's a name that's probably well known in Luton now. He is known as one of the worst sex offenders in Bedfordshire ever. He was previously given a life sentence it was in 2021. He was given a life sentence with a minimum of 22 years. I was at that sentence hearing. I can't repeat what I heard. I heard some of the most horrific stuff, and the things those victims went through was horrifying. And
just so you know, folks, the reason is that Laura explained this to me, and before we came on air, the reason is because in law, the victims of sexual abuse, and quite rightly so, of course, they have the full legal right to decide, and it's completely within their control, whether their name is kept private or is allowed to go out public.
Well, you can't even identify them. It's similar to when
because of that, so a person is allowed to attend the court. Anyone can actually attend a court and listen in, but those decisions that the victims have held, whoever hears that in court, you're not allowed to divulge who those names were.
Well, you can't even speak about something that's potentially identifying. That's why generally, when I was talking about this case, I don't talk about the victim impact statements, even though they were incredibly powerful, because it's more important that I protect the anonymity of these victims, because, you know.
Can we talk about what sort of numbers of
what sort
of numbers of victims did this involve?
So the first sentence in where he got the life sentence with a minimum of 22 years behind bars, that was for grooming, raping, and sexually abusing 9 young people at his house on Selborne Road. This latest case, which will be part of what's on 24 Hours in Police Custody tonight, it was where, after the show was aired, a lot of new victims came forward. It prompted a fresh investigation by the team at Bedfordshire Police. He was then given another life sentence last year after he actually pled guilty this time. Before, he didn't actually plead guilty. He put the victims, I believe, through a trial, which was horrific for them. He admitted to 24 new charges relating to 13 victims dating back to 1987. So it will now be 22 years and 9 months before he is considered for parole. Bearing in mind, I believe when he was first sentenced, he was 66. So that was 4 years ago. So he must be nearly in his 70s now. It's very likely that this man is going to die in prison, and that's where he deserves to die, frankly, in my opinion.
How was he getting access to these children?
Essentially, he specifically targeted very young people. He was very friendly towards them. A lot of them, he specifically chose children that he knew would be very trusting if he was friendly towards them, because they had not perhaps had people that had been friendly towards them before, including parents, carers, that sort of thing. He was very targeted in his approach of grooming these young children. It was truly the worst thing ever. And it wasn't just young men, it was women as well. There was one victim of his that did come out and speak publicly, which is former stepdaughter. She did speak publicly about this, but it was, he deliberately targeted children that he knew would be easy victims, that would be less likely to be believed, which is why it took so long. And Bedfordshire Police admit that they messed up when they first, because children have been reporting this since the 80s and 90s about what he was doing to them. And because they were often involved with criminality already and things like that, they were often not believed. And as a result, these children were left to be abused by this man repeatedly because they had no help. It's a really sad state of affairs. I definitely recommend watching this tonight. It gives you an insight on what you should be looking out for as well, especially, you know, if you're in the position where you're helping or supporting a vulnerable child.
Which channel is it on?
It's on Channel 4. It will be at 9 p.m. It's actually going to be on Tuesday night, but you will be able to catch up with it on Channel 4's catch-up service. Obviously, this show goes out on a Wednesday. We're saying tonight it's actually Tuesday because we pre-record this on a Tuesday. But yeah, I definitely recommend watching it if you look after a vulnerable child or you're involved with that, so you can know the signs that are there. You know, this was really specifically, this man was very targeting in who he chose, and it's awful. And I only hope, I know the victims are now getting support, and I hope that helps them come for, and if anyone else does have is a victim of him, you can still come forward. The police are still looking to investigate what he has done, and they are still willing to charge him and take it to court. This is evident by the fact that they've taken him back to court again. He's been given another life sentence. You know, I think we just need to remember that actually concludes this first half of the show. We've only got through 3 stories, but it's some heavy duty stuff. We'll be joined after the break, though, by Hafiz to talk about an event that's coming this Sunday, all about Islamic artifacts. Hafiz Yusuf, that's it. He's going to be talking about an event about Islamic artifacts that's coming to Luton. It's a really exciting event, but join us after the break.
Get Luton prayer and Jamaat times for your local masjid on your phone. Download the Inspire FM app. Available for free on the App Store or Google Play.
Assalamu alaikum, hello, and welcome back to the News and Culture Show with me, Laura Conda, and my co-host, Paul Cooper. A little bit about the News and Culture Show. We talk about all the latest news from Luton, as well as arts, culture and events. So you can go out and have some fun. So joining us now for the second half of the show, we have a fantastic guest. His name is Hafiz Yusuf. He is the Vice Chairman of Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery, and he's going to be talking to us all about an event that's happening in Luton this weekend. Really exciting event. So Assalamu alaikum, brother, thank you so much for joining us.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my honor. Thank you. So yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about the event that you've got coming up this week and what people can expect from it? So we've got the first Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery, Kiswa exhibition coming to Luton, venue 360 for the first ever exhibition in Luton. It's taking place on Sunday, the 1st of Feb 2026 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I really want to express my sincere gratitude to the individuals that made it happen. You've got Brother Sirat Qazi and his father, his honoured father, Alama Qazi Abdulaziz Chishti MBE, who supported and encouraged us and gave us opportunity to bring this exhibition to Luton. Now, his father is a respected Islamic scholar and community leader who's dedicated over 50 years of his life in community. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to community cohesion and public services, he was awarded an MBE by King Charles III on the first ever New Year's honoured list. So it's a huge moment of pride, not only for the Muslim community, but for Luton as a whole. Other sponsors and supporters that gave us the opportunity to come to Luton would have been the businesses, the Digital Accountancy, AA Carpets, Rainstone Finance, City Law, 247 Logistics and Alpha Productions, and many, many others. It's a very exciting opportunity at the moment. There's a lot of artifacts for the 2 holy sites of Islam that are going to be showcased in Luton 360 on Sunday.
And what kind of artifacts are these? Because, you know, a lot of people hear that but thinking, well, what is it?
Okay, so in Islam we have 2 holy sites. One is the resting place of where Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, is buried, and the second being the Holy Kaaba, the direction of prayer that 5 times a day we Muslims pray towards that. in all parts of the world, in any continent, regardless of race, culture, or ethnicity. We pray towards this direction of prayer. Now, these artifacts are associated with the two holy sites of Islam, but rarely accessible in public domain. You'd never see these out in museums or civic sectors or even culture galleries. So to have them in a accessible event in Luton 360 is an absolute God-given gift. These artifacts are lock and keys to do with the two holy sites of Islam. You've got door covers from the Holy Kaaba, as well as the resting place of Prophet Muhammad. You've got various bells and metallic plaques, manufactured in mulberry silk, embroidered in gold and silver.
Wow, that is incredible.
So where is it you've managed to source these from? Have they been released from museums around the world or private collections? Or where are they from, Hafiz Yusuf?
So my family were gifted these artifacts, and they've gone down the generation, and they're in the heirloom at the moment for Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery. We were gifted these artifacts. Some say it's a gift, but I believe it's a responsibility more than anything to showcase it to the world, not just keep it to the family, but a way and a means of promoting Islamic history, art, heritage, and culture. We were gifted these artifacts, and since then we've been doing exhibitions throughout the country in civic sectors, museums, educational hubs, and finally corporate venues.
Mashallah. So these are family heirlooms then that have been kept in pristine condition. What made you start Kiswa Arts then?
Originally, it started in Dewsbury up north in Yorkshire. And when we received these artifacts, we thought, right, okay, let's just showcase one piece in a local mosque and see the feedback. People in absolute awe, a lot of prayers for going towards for Umrah and pilgrimage in the holy sites of Islam. It really promotes Islamic history and heritage, the craftsmanship, where embroidery came from, what Quran verse they used on the Holy Kaaba. And it's really beneficial for those who can't go to the holy sites of Islam due to physical inability, or maybe it's a monetary thing where they can't afford it. So for those individuals to have these sacred artifacts in a public domain, accessible, where you can even smell the perfume which has been applied to these artifacts, it's a God-given sin. And we're very lucky to have them in the UK. The whole vision and mission is to build the first Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery in the UK, where people from all faiths, all cultures, all backgrounds can come together, and education, cultural dialogue, community cohesion, and interfaith understanding.
So is this some of the first time that these artifacts have been in Luton?
Yes. For Luton, this is the first ever Kiswa exhibition.
So how many items have you got for display?
So that's a good question, to be honest. We've got a mobile collection and we've got a museum collection. The museum collection have never been accessible in a public domain till today. The mobile collection, we've done a couple of exhibitions, length and width of the country, in various universities and city halls and interfaith centres. But this is the first ever Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery exhibition in Luton. So we really want to share that message far and wide with those who are listening on this FM, Link FM. Is it Link FM?
It's Inspire FM.
Inspire FM. Sorry.
No, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry. Obviously, this is really important for people that are Muslims to attend, but are non-Muslims able to attend this event as well, even if they're just interested in the history?
So the first thing that we did with this organization was that we registered as a charity, and we wanted to have this ethos where we were multicultural, multi-faith, and multi-ethical. It's an exhibition that's open and welcoming to all. We regularly work with interfaith society, civic sectors and educational settings. So, I mean, it's welcome for everybody, all families, all children. Even if you have people with special needs, it's accessible for them too. We've got a professional setup. We cater for all health and safety parameters. We make sure that the events are managed well in terms of security, congestion, plenty of communication between parties which are internal to the venue and external for parking, such restrictions. So we encourage dialogue because we want to be cohesive. We want to push out community cohesion and get people to understand Islamic art, Islamic culture and heritage. So we're open to all people from all faiths, all backgrounds.
I mean, what you're saying, Hafiz Yusuf, is so true, because of course we as Muslims, we're fully aware of the, sorry, I just got a little bit wind, of the symbolization of what the Kaaba means to us. But non-Muslims have absolutely no idea this is the house of Abraham. You know, it was built by Abraham for the worship of God. You know, and they literally have no idea of this. You know, and many Jewish people that you speak to as well, that they've actually lost complete memory of this. The fact that it was the father of both religions that built this.
True. These artifacts are very, very rare. And this is why it makes it very, very important to get that message out far and wide in Luton. If you were to see some of these artifacts, you'd probably see one piece in the Town Museum, one piece in Top Cafe, 2 pieces somewhere in Malaysia. But you would never see a collection of over 90 pieces that are going to be available in Luton 360, Venue 360, this Sunday. So you get this message far and wide. I mean, for those people who are listening, spread the awareness. If you are vloggers, YouTube vloggers, and you've got a huge social media presence, get that message far and wide and spread that awareness, because you're not going to get this opportunity again.
No, definitely not. Obviously, you say that it's open to all faiths. How has the reception been before when you've had these exhibitions elsewhere in the country?
We've had a lot of positive feedback. We've got feedback, geography from testimonials, from dignitaries, from councillors, from MOD officials, police force, medical professionals, councillors, art specialists, curators, archaeologists. Even feedback from children and the wider and public community. It's been accepted very well. We've always walked out with positive outcome, understood something, learned something, absolute educational experience. I think the best thing is that people understand what the religion is about. It's more about peace instead of divide and conquer. It's more about peace, that we're promoting peace here. That regardless of who we are, where we come from, all religions come from one. We all pray to one God. We have one message, and we all promote peace. And we're all cohesive, and we all bleed the same as well. So it goes really well with all audiences.
No, it sounds fantastic. Obviously, you've mentioned about children. Will this event this Sunday be suitable for children? Because I think that's a big concern, because parents are probably sitting here thinking, I really want to go, but I don't know if my kids are going to be able to go as well.
So this exhibition is actually family friendly and suitable for children, but they have to be accompanied by parents and carers. We've got the correct health and safety parameters and the Venue 360. I mean, it's an incredible hall, quite famous as well, Luton. They've got the right setting. They've got the right... they've ticked all the boxes for health and safety parameters. I mean, for children, what they're going to love the most is the visual displays on the day. These carved door covers, you're talking 7 meters tall, 4 meters wide, manufactured in organic color. Just to give you understanding, some of the colors that we use in the Ottoman era for the holy carved door covers were plant-based. I'm talking, the 3 primary colors that we learned in art: blue, red, and yellow, right? They come from the natural earth, hence why they are primary colors. For example, the blue color comes from the indigo ferreting torii plant. The red color comes from the Madiru plant, and the yellow color comes from saffron. meaning everything is derived from original natural sources. So for children, I would say the workshop gives them the ability to learn and understand craftsmanship, embroidery, colors, what the message is, what gold and silver look like in embroidery. Some of the processes were adopted by the English, and we call it couching today. But in the Asian world and the Persian world, we'd call it zari. It's quite commonly used on dress attire for weddings and ceremonies in the Asian world. But it's the same embroidery that's used in the English culture as couching. So we have the same culture, but different names. We have the same colors, but different names. It all comes together when we have that understanding of that education on the day. So yes, we are family friendly and it is suitable for children.
Excellent. Can I just ask, obviously you've been involved with this for many years now. How has it been for you to be involved in such a beautiful exhibition and things like that, and just have these possessions?
When we first received these artifacts, it was difficult to get into this role. It's not easy. I don't come from a background of promoting art culture. I come from a different background, more medical more than anything. And for me to get into this concept, I believe that this family of mine, we didn't just receive it as a gift, but it was a responsibility. And the more you learn about the artifacts and those people who were the custodians of the two holy sites of Islam, the stewardship and the custodianship roles, the reason why they were the custodians were because it's a huge responsibility. That in Arabic we have a phrase called amanat al-thaqila, which means a heavy trust of responsibility. You got to make sure that the silk is sourced correctly, the correct dyes are used, the correct conditions are used to manufacture this fabric, this textile cloth. And when it goes into the Holy Kaaba, it's under a lot of factors, environmental factors, people holding and tugging onto it. But for myself, I've had to grow into the role. I've had to do these interviews on Inspire FM and BBC News, and you're curating tasks in front of wider public community, different audiences, children in a school setting, museum with professional curators, archaeologists, and we've got media personnel. It's been difficult, but growing as I do each interview, growing as a person. I used to be a very quiet person 2 years ago. I could not give a public speech. I could not have a conversation in Inspire FM. But as you grow into the role, God helps you. It's a responsibility that you take with full, what's the word I'm looking for? If you take on a responsibility, God opens doors, opens your brain, opens you to the role, etc. So, alhamdulillah, yeah, that's me. That's what's happened throughout the journey for me.
Alhamdulillah. It sounds like Allah has been the best of planners and guided you to what you needed to be, where you needed to be. It's fantastic to see. Obviously, if people can't attend on Sunday, is there somewhere else where this sits permanently in an exhibition, in a museum, for example, or is this something they've got to look out for? Is there a social media where they can look, and perhaps if they're happy to travel elsewhere, if they can't attend this Sunday, where they can go?
So we do mobile exhibitions quite often. The whole vision and mission is to get that awareness and exposure out there, so that we can raise funds to build the first Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery in the UK. Now, we haven't got a permanent place where we're going to build it at this moment of time, because we're still getting feedback from different cities in the UK. Birmingham, you've got London, you've got Scotland, you've got South Wales. Everybody wants a museum in their hometown, in their home county. So at the moment, it's just awareness and exposure. You'll see us today on Sunday. Sorry, you'll see this exhibition this Sunday. If you do miss that, the next exhibition, just follow our social media. Type in Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery. Go to the website, www.kacg.org.uk. Follow our social media on YouTube, on TikTok. And we're always promoting our event prior to exhibiting anyway. So that's the best way to follow the journey. We've even got a WhatsApp number. But my message to our visitors and listeners would be that if you are a person who can open doors local civic sectors, universities, so we can have that awareness and exposure. We want to take this all the way to Parliament and do an exhibition in Westminster one day in Scottish Parliament as well as Welsh Parliament. We've got a lot of dignitaries, a lot of testimonials, and a lot of feedback from high-ranked individuals in the UK. We've got a massive backing behind us. We're also part of Museum Association at the moment. So we're going to take it to the next level. So those of you who can support us financially, those of you who can support us through awareness and exposure, please come forward and get in touch.
No, sounds amazing. Big question though, is this event free? Because I think a lot of people might be thinking, oh, this might cost me a bit if otherwise.
We never charge for any of our events. We never have and we never will. I'll tell you the reason why. If you went to a arts and culture gallery, let's say Topkapi Museum or different venues in the country, you would be charged £25 to £30 a ticket. If you're a family of 4 people, that's going to cost you £120. We are completely free. We don't charge anybody anything, but we do like to say that, look, if you went to an exhibition or a venue, you'd be paying something towards the ticket. So at least donate to the cause. In fact, the word is not donate, invest to the cause. Every person that becomes a better person from this event, you will have some form of contribution in that. We call it Sadaqah Jariyah, a continuous charity for the future. So where you can donate, please donate. We've got GoFundMe accounts. We've got the website where you can donate generously to the cause. This is for future generations. It's not for me and you. It's for our children, the future generations. Imagine preserving these rare artifacts in the UK and having a permanent museum for the future. Something that's going to last generations. Me and you will be long gone by then. But it will last generations after generations and generations. And it will be in the UK. And we can officially say that UK has the Kiswa. Just like every other country has got some form of music for the Kiswa, we don't have one in the UK. And this is going to be the first one, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, so folks, so if you want more information, it's Kiswa Arts and Culture Gallery. So you can find that online. I think Hafiz Yusuf said www.kacg.co.uk. So you can find sorry, .org.uk. Sorry, .org. Sorry, I'll just correct that. .org.uk.
Better charity.
Yeah. So you'll find the details there. But Venue 360, which is just next to Oldie, down in town, and you'll be able to. So please pop along. I certainly hope I don't forget this.
I will text Paul to remind him because he is a champion at forgetting things. But I will remind him about this because I want to go. It sounds really exciting. I mean, like for me, I don't know if you've ever been to Saudi or had the opportunity to go and do Umrah or Hajj.
I've been 3 times.
See, I've never been. So for me, I think it would be a fantastic opportunity to be able to go because I don't know when I'm going to be able to afford to go.
You know, yeah, I was going to say one last thing that we've been hosted by BBC News and ITV News. We've got testimonials from mayors, MOD officials. You could say a wide spectrum of dignitaries around the UK, including senators from Parliament. If you look on our YouTube and TikTok and things like that, there's a lot of interviews from a lot of professionals, and they are in some high places. And every person that's come to an event, he's walked away with something positive. Always provided a testimonial, written feedback. You don't get that from an individual unless you're happy going to that event, unless you've had a good experience, something that's going to life-change you. And some people will come to the event just to experience the art and culture, never mind the religion side of it, just the art and culture and the embroidery aspect. But when they learn about the verses which are on the Kiswa, they think, oh my God, this connects to Christianity. This also connects to Judaism. That's why we promote ourselves as multi-faith, multicultural, and multi-ethical, because it applies to everyone.
Yeah. It's interesting, actually. I always remember a student I taught many years ago. So I met up with him so he was actually Turkish, but lived in London while he went to the school that I taught him. And I was on holiday, oh gosh, it was over 20 years ago, and I met up with him and his family in Istanbul. And his father brought out this piece of granite rock and placed it over, and he said, "Here, Dr. Rocker." He said, "This is a piece of the Kaaba."
Wow.
That was left over from when they did because many of you don't know, they did some renovations probably about 40, 50 years ago now. And this came into their family. Yes, there I am sitting there with a little piece of this granite rock that was actually part of one of the stones of the Kaaba.
Mashallah.
Yeah,
Wow. I forgot to mention, guys, how all these artifacts are, just for the viewers and listeners. So I'm going to go through a couple of items with you. So we've got a holy Kaaba key, 741 Hijri Islamic calendar, translated into Gregorian calendar, 706 years old, holy Kaaba key. First item. Second item, holy Kaaba door cover 1204 Hijri, approximately 243 years old. Third item, 25 years old. So what we try to do in an exhibition is that we like to have two separate settings. One is the old Ottoman era kind of Kiswa, and the other half would be the common era, today's era, 25 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old. Gives people a comparison of what happened in the Kiswa chronology and the Holy Kaaba, how it's been reconstructed many, many times. And then the Kiswa has changed accordingly into the sizing, into the craftsmanship, and certain verses were replaced with other verses, etc. So we've got artifacts from the resting place of Prophet Muhammad, the lock and keys from that section as well. We've got pieces which are 495 years old, which are the square panel pieces on the Holy Kaaba, manufactured by Sultan Solomon Al-Qanuni, also known as Solomon the Great, Solomon the Magnificent in the Ottoman era. Quite famous in our history books. So yeah, a lot of artifacts are going to be on display, so definitely pop down.
Alhamdulillah, it sounds like a fascinating. I think we'll probably both be here this Sunday. Also, one thing I forgot to ask: do people need to pre-book, or is it a case of they just turn up at the venue on the day?
At the beginning, we had an Eventbrite day for Luton Kiswa exhibition, but whether people book on the Eventbrite or not, they are more than welcome to just walk in. There's no restrictions. It's family friendly, child friendly. Walk in, just make sure you don't have any food and drinks with you. Because, sometimes being close to artifacts, you don't want to come out with some curry smells and, certain kind of. So obviously, try to do wudu before you come as well, just in case you might get the opportunity to hold a sacred artifact in your hands. And if you're not in the correct condition of wudu and you have an ablution, then I won't be able to put it in your hands. But if you do get that awesome chance, then definitely come with wudu. But yeah, anybody is welcome at any time, providing they come between the times, which is 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the day, on Sunday.
Oh, mashallah, it sounds very exciting.
Yeah, Jazakallah for speaking to us today, taking the time. So this Sunday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m, venue 360, Gypsy Lane in Luton. You can see the Kiswa Arts and Culture event. It's got some amazing artifacts. If you've missed out on any of this show, you can obviously go and listen back, but I would highly recommend. Jazakallah, brother, for taking the time to speak to us. We really appreciate it. And inshallah, you have a good event on Sunday.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. So that's all for this week's News and Culture show, but join us again next week for all the latest news from around Luton, as well as arts, culture events. You can go out and have some fun. But until then, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.